Imagine a tomb sealed for nearly 2,000 years and believed to be that of Jesus Christ, the central figure of Christianity. Would its opening confirm world-shaping beliefs or unveil mysteries that challenge our understanding? For centuries, the tomb of Jesus has been more than just a historical site. It has been a symbol of faith and hope, a place where believers find connection to something greater than themselves. Located beneath the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, people have guarded and revered this tomb, rarely disturbing it. Recently, a team of archaeologists received permission to open it, changing the status quo. What they uncovered inside has left the world speechless. The discovery wasn't just about opening a stone door, it was a moment charged with emotion, tension, and reverence. This was no ordinary tomb. It was a portal into a time long past, a chance to touch something sacred and mysterious. The air felt thick with the weight of centuries as they carefully shifted the heavy stone slab aside. Every movement was slow and deliberate, as though even the tools understood the gravity of what was happening. Inside, the tomb was silent, untouched by the noise of the outside world. The team's flashlights illuminated objects unseen by human eyes for over 2,000 years. There were fragments of a burial shroud, still showing traces of its original color. This fabric, carefully preserved by time, may have once wrapped the body of Jesus. A corner nearby held a neatly arranged collection of Roman coins, their worn surfaces hinting at the hands that placed them there. These coins could have been offerings left by the earliest followers, a tribute to the man they believed to be the Son of God. Among the most striking discoveries were the inscriptions on the walls. These engravings, penned in Aramaic, the language of Jesus, conveyed centuries-old stories and messages. Each word seemed to bridge the gap between the present and a past filled with wonder, faith, and hope. The team also found a small wooden box, sealed and covered in ancient symbols. Inside were scrolls, remarkably preserved despite their age. The writing on these scrolls is still being analyzed, but early impressions suggest they contain passages that could shed new light on the life and teachings of Jesus. These texts might hold details that have been lost to time, giving us a clearer view of an era that has shaped so much of the world today. Other discoveries included pieces of ceramic, possibly from the Last Supper, and a fragment of wood that may have come from the cross of the Crucifixion. Each artifact carried immense weight, not just historically, but spiritually. In the heart of ancient Jerusalem, the story of Jesus of Nazareth unfolded against a backdrop of cultural complexity, political tension, and profound faith. The year was 33 CE, and the city was under Roman control, bustling with pilgrims, merchants, and religious leaders. It was here that the life and teachings of Jesus left an indelible mark on history, culminating in his crucifixion, burial, and the event that would change the course of human belief forever, the resurrection. When Jesus was crucified, it was meant to be a public display of power by the Roman authorities, a warning to anyone who dared to challenge their rule. His death was a brutal and humiliating punishment, reserved for the most despised criminals. Afterward, his followers, led by Joseph of Arimathea, placed his body in a newly carved tomb. A massive stone sealed the tomb in a rocky hillside, ensuring it remained untouched for eternity. Remember to join our community by subscribing to this channel. The tomb, however, became much more than a burial site. The Gospels report that they found the tomb empty 3 days after Jesus' death. His resurrection became the cornerstone of the Christian faith, symbolizing hope, salvation, and the promise of eternal life. People have revered the site as sacred ground for centuries, attracting pilgrims from all over the world. Recently, a team of archaeologists gained permission to carefully open and examine the tomb, an act that combined meticulous science with profound reverence. What they discovered inside was both extraordinary and deeply moving, shedding light on a time long past while connecting to the beliefs of millions today. The first items uncovered were fragments of burial shrouds. These delicate pieces of fabric had withstood the passage of time, still showing faint traces of their original colors. Experts believe these could have been part of the linen cloth used to wrap Jesus' body, a detail that aligns with biblical accounts of his burial. Someone found a collection of Roman coins nearby, their surfaces worn but still legible. These coins, likely left as offerings, provided a direct link to the practices of the early followers of Jesus. Even more compelling were the inscriptions discovered on the tomb walls. These inscriptions, written in Aramaic, the language Jesus and his disciples spoke, revealed phrases and symbols linked to the spiritual beliefs of the time. These were not just carvings, but messages frozen in stone, echoing across millennia. One of the most astonishing discoveries was a small wooden box, intricately sealed and decorated with ancient symbols. Inside, archaeologists found scrolls in remarkable condition, their delicate writing preserved despite their age. The content of these scrolls is still being studied, but initial findings suggest they contain texts that could offer new insights into the life and teachings of Jesus. Researchers also recovered fragments of a ceramic cup, with markings suggesting its use in religious rituals. Some experts speculate it could have been similar to the cups used during the Last Supper, adding a layer of intimacy to the discovery. Additionally, a small piece of wood, possibly part of the cross on which Jesus was crucified, was found. Though small, this artifact carried immense significance and is undergoing extensive analysis to confirm its authenticity. For centuries, the tomb of Jesus has been one of the most sacred and visited sites in the world. Located within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, it has drawn pilgrims, scholars, and seekers alike. However, time has not been kind to the structure that protects this revered place. Known as the edicule, the small shrine that houses the tomb had suffered extensive deterioration over the centuries, leading to fears of a possible collapse. The site desperately needed restoration due to the weight of history, environmental damage, and the sheer number of visitors. We made a monumental decision in 2016 to embark on a comprehensive restoration project. This ambitious effort both preserved the tomb's structure and ensured future generations could study and understand it. The restoration brought together a rare collaboration of Christian denominations, Greek Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and Armenian Apostolic, all of whom share custodial responsibility for the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Their unity in supporting this project was a testament to the tomb's significance across different branches of Christianity. The restoration team, led by scientists and experts in historical preservation, faced a delicate task. The edicule is not only a place of immense spiritual importance, but also a fragile and ancient structure. We carefully planned and executed every step to prevent any damage. The goal was to stabilize the shrine while preserving its original features, allowing the tomb to continue as a place of worship and study for generations to come. One of the main measures taken to protect the tomb involved covering it with layers of marble slabs. These slabs, added at different periods, served as a protective shield against wear, damage, and the passage of time. The first layer of marble, believed to have been added during the Crusades, was part of an effort to preserve the tomb as pilgrims flocked to the site. Over time, more layers were added, each reflecting the evolving approaches to conservation and architectural styles of the time. The scientific community also saw this restoration as an unprecedented opportunity. While the primary focus was to protect the site, the project opened the door to study the tomb in ways that had never been possible before. Using advanced technologies, researchers aimed to gather data that could shed light on the tomb's history and confirm its authenticity. This was not about questioning faith, but about enriching our understanding of a site that holds such profound significance. In the process of restoration, the actual burial bed of the tomb, the stone slab where Jesus' body is believed to have been laid, was exposed for the first time in centuries. This moment was historic. The team worked with state-of-the-art imaging and scanning technology to document every detail of the site, creating a digital archive for future study. We employed ground-penetrating radar and other non-invasive techniques to explore the layers beneath the tomb without disturbing its structure. The edicule itself was not the sole focus of the restoration. We also addressed the broader structural concerns within the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. The project involved reinforcing the foundations and ensuring the stability of the surrounding areas. The work was painstaking but essential, as it ensured the preservation of not just the tomb, but the church that has stood as a symbol of faith for centuries. What made this project even more remarkable was its global resonance. Governments, private organizations, and individuals of various faiths from around the world funded the restoration. It was a reminder that the tomb of Jesus, while central to Christianity, holds a place in the shared cultural and historical heritage of humanity. By the project's conclusion in 2017, we had fully restored the edicule and safeguarded the tomb. The efforts ensured that this sacred site could continue to inspire and unite people from all walks of life. The restoration didn't just preserve the past, it also created new opportunities for future generations to learn from and connect with the legacy of this extraordinary place. The history of this iconic church begins in the 4th century during the reign of Emperor Constantine the Great and his mother, Helena, whose efforts led to the establishment of this monumental place of worship. The story begins in the early 300s CE, when Constantine became the first Roman emperor to embrace Christianity. Under his rule, the Roman Empire transitioned from persecuting Christians to promoting their faith. Constantine sought to honor key sites associated with the life and death of Jesus. His mother, Helena, played a crucial role in identifying these locations. She traveled to Jerusalem, guided by scripture and local traditions, to pinpoint the sacred places tied to Jesus' crucifixion and burial. The location of Jesus' tomb was obscure at the time. In the years following Jesus' death, Jerusalem had been under Roman control, and the Emperor Hadrian had ordered the construction of a pagan temple over the site in the 2nd century CE. This act was likely an attempt to erase Christian significance from the area. However, Helena's determination, combined with guidance from local Christians, led her to uncover what was believed to be the burial site of Jesus beneath the layers of Roman construction. Are you enjoying the story? Support our channel by clicking the subscribe button. Constantine ordered the construction of a grand church to honor this sacred ground once he identified the location. Around 335 CE, Constantine completed the original Church of the Holy Sepulchre, building it over the site of Jesus' crucifixion, Golgotha, and his nearby tomb. This monumental structure reflected Constantine's vision of Christianity as a central pillar of the empire. The church's design accommodated pilgrims and celebrated the resurrection, the cornerstone of Christian faith. The original church was far larger than the current structure and included several distinct areas. It featured a large basilica known as the Martyrium, an open courtyard called the Atrium, and the rotunda, which housed the edicule, the small shrine covering the tomb of Jesus. This design allowed worshippers to follow the journey of Jesus' passion, from his crucifixion to his burial and resurrection. However, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre has not remained untouched through history. It has been destroyed, rebuilt, and renovated multiple times over the centuries. The Persian invasion of Jerusalem in 614 CE severely damaged the church, but it later underwent restoration. In the 11th century, it faced another crisis when the Fatimid Caliph al-Hakim ordered its destruction. The Byzantine Emperor Constantine IX Monomachos subsequently rebuilt the church and later expanded it during the Crusader period. In the 12th century, the Crusaders, deeply committed to preserving Christian holy sites, reshaped much of the church into its current form. They reinforced the structure and added Romanesque architectural features, many of which are still visible today. Since then, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre has stood as a testament to resilience and faith, surviving centuries of conflict, natural disasters, and religious disputes. One unique aspect of the church is its shared custodianship. Since the 12th century, various Christian denominations, including the Greek Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and Armenian Apostolic churches, have shared responsibility for maintaining and managing the site. The tomb of Jesus is not just a historical site, it's a place steeped in legends, traditions, and enduring mysteries. Over centuries, it has become a focal point for spiritual reflection and devotion, attracting millions of pilgrims and visitors. Among its many stories, three particularly fascinating aspects stand out: the legend of the Holy Light, the rare occasions the tomb has been opened, and its role as a symbol of hope and truth. One of the most intriguing phenomena associated with the tomb is the legend of the Holy Light. Every year during Orthodox Easter, thousands gather at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre to witness a miraculous event. According to tradition, a divine light appears inside the tomb, said to be a heavenly manifestation of God's presence. This light, described as a bluish-white flame, is believed to spontaneously ignite candles held by the Greek Orthodox Patriarch after he enters the sealed tomb. People have been celebrating the ceremony for over a millennium, with its origins dating back to at least the 9th century. Believers see the holy light as a direct connection to the resurrection of Jesus, a powerful reminder of the triumph of life over death. The gathered faithful cheer, pray, and shed tears of joy as the patriarch emerges from the tomb holding the ignited candles. While skeptics have tried to explain the event through natural means, it remains a deeply cherished tradition for millions of Orthodox Christians. If you're enjoying this journey into history and faith, consider clicking the Super Thanks button now. By doing so, you're helping preserve the legacy of these incredible discoveries, ensuring they continue inspiring millions. The tomb itself, despite its sacred status, has rarely seen disturbance. Only a handful of times in recorded history have people moved the heavy stone slab, sealing the burial chamber. Opening the tomb required precision and reverence. Scientists used state-of-the-art imaging and non-invasive techniques to document and study the site without causing damage. The exposure of the burial bed was brief, lasting only 60 hours, but the findings have contributed significantly to our understanding of this sacred place. Each artifact, carefully preserved through centuries, serves as a symbol of hope, resilience, and the sacred mysteries of life and death. Intertwining history and faith guides us toward a deeper understanding of ourselves and our shared humanity. Thanks for watching. Join our community by subscribing to this channel. Until the next video.